Andy Stevenson for SevereMMA, and I'm standing alongside John Kavanagh here at SBG HQ. John, we've got the Unstoppable seminar going on at the moment. Can you tell us about what's going on today?
Yeah, so we're over the halfway mark now. We've had great numbers in so far, great energy, everybody having a lot of fun and a lot of great training. Already we've had Andy Ryan, we had Johnny Walker, Carl Cannon, Sergey, made everybody really tired, so we lost some of them after Sergey's session. Always trains people very hard. And then we had Burger Boy outside, everybody's at having a nice burger there. Monster Energy, all of those guys giving up their time, their teaching, their products for Monster and for Burger Boy, all for a great cause. We're on the second half now. We've got the fantastic Kieran Davern starting down below. We've Coach on Ruddy upstairs. And then after that, it'll be myself and Dave Roach to finish off downstairs, and upstairs to finish off. We've got Packy Collins, the great Packy Collins, coming over. So I'm really looking forward to seeing his section and hearing about it. But look, the number one thing was we were here to hit a target, and I haven't checked just yet, but I know we're inching very, very close to it. And between that and then the auction with a bit of gear, signed gear from Johnny Walker, some signed stuff for myself and SBG, and then of course the Notorious gave up his, I stole his boxing boots, and then I let him know a couple of years later, but he was gracious enough to sign them. They'll be part of that. So I'm pretty much going to guarantee we will hit the target that we set out to hit, and we can give the guys, Ian and Raina, a little bit of light at the end of the tunnel. And please God that the treatment is effective and works, and we get them back moving around some level of independence in the new year, and we have something better to talk about than COVID.
Yeah, and you mentioned Ian there, so we're here for Ian Coughlan today, who suffered a horrendous injury in training. Was it important for you as kind of a leader in Irish MMA to get involved and really put your support behind Ian and his family?
Yeah, absolutely. The last time I saw Ian, he was fighting one of my guys, and it was a very
robbery.
Sorry?
Robbery.
Robbery, yeah. You must train with Andy, do you? So it was a close fight. It was a close fight with Costi. And Ian I'd never seen Ian before, but I was shocked at the level of his jiu-jitsu, because Costi is a freaking nightmare to deal with. And I just thought, I didn't know this guy. I said Costi will chuck him around, and all of a sudden he's fighting out of very tight arm bars and triangles and everything. So very, very impressive jiu-jitsu game. And then the next I hear of him is this terrible accident. And what I wanted to show was that the MMA community, me and Andy were fierce rivals on Saturday night. We often face each other in competition, but at the end of it all, we're all in this together. We're all training together. The super competitive side of martial arts is for a couple of years of your life, but we hope people are able to train martial arts for their entire life. And I thought this was, and it's not just me, all of the coaches came together on this, a good example of what we can do together as a community. No matter what types of insurance you have and everything else, you're still not going to be getting any close to a payout to the type of money that's required for a terrible life-changing tragedy like this. So look, let's get some level of positivity out of it. We all came here to train. There's a bunch of different rival gyms in here today. We're all working for the same cause, to do something very positive for a young family facing challenges going into the new year. And just proud to be a small part of it.
Yeah, and I was obviously joking about the robbery comment there. As you mentioned, we've got so many people here, Andy Ryan, lots of people from different gyms banding together. I was at Cage Legacy last weekend, and they were going around with the bucket, and everyone's really kind of pulling behind Ian. Is it times like these, there was the death of Joe Carvalho a number of years ago. This is obviously a horrendous a tragedy for Ian and his family as well. Does it really kind of show the true character of Irish MMA banding together in times like these?
I think it does. Everybody's had a very, very tough year. We're here with exactly 1 week out from Christmas. Everybody has tight pockets. Everybody has other things to be spending their money on and spending their limited free time on. And yet we had, great turnout here today. And so many people donating the full amount on the GoFundMe, and not even being able to be here. People paying the €100 for their spot, but they're from America or Australia. I actually just someone here today who paid €1,000 today. So it really is shown that I think it struck a chord with a lot of people to say, look, there, but for the grace of God go I. I mean, I've had some close calls over the years. You fall funny and you step, you're hurt. We're in a contact sport. like you're playing rugby, playing golf, any of these type of sports, freak accidents can happen. So we'd like to know that if it was me or it was you or it was anyone else, we would do the same thing. We would come together like this and help some people in need.
Yeah, 100%. And there was some big news for Irish MMA this week with yourself and Peter going on Virgin Media to announce the new the next Bellator Dublin show in February. Are you excited for that?
Yeah, it's huge. When I was there when they were here in November, and I spoke to them afterwards, even though it was a great event, they said, look, probably going to be September. They were kind of on they said probably October, November. We were doing like February and September. We got, I think, maybe 2 years like that, 3 years like that. COVID hits, everything shuts down, and then Bellator went through some change of management, and Showtime is involved now. And when the show started up again, they're kind of like, what, Ireland? What are we going there for? And, I've got some friends within Bellator who said, look, let's just do one in November. They did the show and we went, oh, I see what you guys are on about now. So within a couple of weeks of them telling me November, I went back over for Franz's fight there only last week, and he pulls me aside and goes, 11 weeks time, February 25th, we're there. We're bringing a world title fight, Musasi and Mr. Paige Van Zandt. And Peter, co-main event, great fight against Kay Musasi. I've got a huge amount of time and respect for him. A great undercard. There's some rumors out there of other big fights going to be announced soon, hopefully. So another fantastic card, another great opportunity for the Irish fans. And look, the Irish fans have been, Bellator have been great, bringing all these stars here and bringing big shows, but the Irish fans have even been greater. It's why they keep coming back. It keeps being packed out. The atmosphere is like no other. Every time they have a show in Ireland, the Bellator staff are telling me, they get inundated by the entire Bellator roster saying, please put me on the next card. The shows around the States, the much smaller gates, in general, one of their big cards in Madison Square Garden might be packed out, but in general, it's that kind of 2,000 to 3,000. We're getting plus 9,000 consistently, and of course, the Peter Creedy walkout is easy to talk about, but from the beginning of the card to the end of the card, great energy.
Yeah, 100%. I think I was there the last one. I think when Stephen Costello walked out, even the first fight of the night, a massive eruption from the crowd. As you mentioned there, a lot of people want to come and fight in Dublin. I saw that Chris Cyborg mentioned that she was kind of eyeing up, Ireland card, maybe I could come over and fight on that. There's another women's fight that's just been reported between Sinead Kavanagh and Leah McCord. What are your thoughts on that potential matchup, we'll say?
Yeah, if we were to get it, it's early days on that yet. I know there's some discussion and there's management issues and so on and so forth. So it's not there yet, but if we were to get that, I don't think it would be overstating it that'd be one of the biggest national fights. Forget genders, but certainly the biggest Irish female fight of all time. Leah has consistently proven she's a winner. She keeps stepping up. She keeps winning. She's got her skill set. Sinead, stalwart of Irish MMA, just off a rough loss to Cyborg. She had her moments in it, but brief fight, got caught with a good shot. But she's had over the years some great fights in Dublin, and it's sort of a fight that everybody involved in the scene went, when? It wasn't if. There's not an enormous number of 145 women at that level in Europe, never mind Ireland. But look, Leah is one of the best out there. Sinead's one of the best out there. Let's see who is the best between the two of them. Hopefully we get that one.
And just switching tacks, I have to ask you, I was just speaking with Johnny Walker about potentially fighting Jamal Hill coming up. Is that a fight that excites you?
Who said? Did he say that?
So it was reported already by MMA Fighting. Yeah.
I'm just glad he's not getting us in trouble. But yeah, look, again, another if. Still paperwork to be signed and all that, and fights to be announced. But if that was to come about, I think that'd be a great fight. The guy's a bit of steam behind him at the moment. Like, Jimmy Crute was always somebody we were watching because I felt they were on a collision path, him and Johnny. And, very good skill set, solid everywhere. Guy puts him away in a minute or so. It was a quick fight. I can't remember exactly how long it was, but it was a quick fight. And he did it like a shot that didn't look all that hard, so he must have real power. Now, all light heavyweights, 4-ounce gloves, they have real power. But to put Jimmy away like that so efficiently and so quickly certainly raised some eyebrows. So if we can get that fight, that'd be one that'd be scary to get ready for and exciting to get ready for.
Do you have a time frame of when they're targeting that?
I've heard rumors, and I will let the youth see.
What did you hear?
I've made that mistake before, and I get some angry phone calls, so I'm sure they have a whole marketing plan for that, and I'll let them do that.
That's fair enough, and I appreciate the time. I'd be remiss if I didn't ask about Conor. Have you been working with him lately? Has he been in the gym? I know he was talking about getting back to full contact training by April. Is that still kind of the time frame that he's looking at?
Yeah, that'd be full contact training. I'm hoping to get him in much earlier than that for even just like drills and just to kind of get those the muscle memory, as they say. Although I've never seen neurons and muscles, but anyway. But certainly get those pathways going for the techniques again. No reason why we can't start that much sooner, and then going into the full contact 5x5 MMA sparring, which is very demanding. No, I've not seen him since he's come home. He's only been home a couple of weeks. I've been away. I was in Miami twice in the last 4 weeks with Sinead and then with France, and then I put a lot of time and effort into the build up for this. So I'm sure we'll bump into each other soon enough and set out a plan for the new year.
And he talked about Brazil versus Ireland too. Looking at that Charles Oliveira fight after Charles beat Dustin, is that a fight that excites you when you look at it stylistically between Conor and Charles? I know you have always kind of said you want the Nate Diaz trilogy, but if you were to look at Charles versus Conor, what do you think? Well,
look, Charles is the man right now. What's it, 10 wins in a row, something silly like that, finishing most of them. He's got a scary skill set, very solid on the feet. He's got wrestling, and his submissions are, if not the best, certainly up there in the best in the entire UFC, never mind his own division. So look, that's a fight that I know would get Conor up early in the morning. That's one that's going to get the goosebumps going and get you training hard. If that one was to come about, of course it would be a pleasure and an honour to prepare Conor for that. And let's see, can we go and shock the world again?
You have so many fighters that we could stand here all day talking, so I'll wrap it up with this. You've had Franz, you just mentioned Franz last week winning in the Copa Combate. So many big fights this year. We're at the end of 2021 now. If you were to look back and say one moment in 2021 that kind of stands out for you in SPG, which one would it be?
Oh God, one moment.
Putting you on the spot here.
It's always like this, it's like, who's your favourite child? I say this and then everyone else watches it and complains at me. You know what? I'll give a shout out to Kieran Clark. He's kind of the guy that just keeps on delivering. Never hear a word out of him. In fact, there's so many team sessions where I'm getting near the end of the session. I go, just Kieran didn't show up today. And then I go, oh no, there he is there. Just because he's just in the corner, doing his job, doing his work. He's now 4-0. He's the real example of the modern day MMA professional fighter. He came through a very tough amateur background. There's too many guys that just go on, I would call them Saturday night shows. They face kind of low-level amateur competition. They win some kind of tin belt. They think they're some kind of champion and then turn pro, and then things don't go so well for them. The modern way of doing it is the way Kieran did it, the way Danny Nealon did it. You go to the IMAFs. That's where you're facing actual high-level amateur competition. Not just your local show, you sell 20 tickets, you get a fight on it, and you're running around talking about your sponsors that give you a t-shirt or something. Relax with the amateur stuff, right? So get to the IMAFs, win a couple of medals at that, and then when you go pro, you'll have a real skill set to be getting up there with real competition right away. Makayev would be a great example of that. Maybe the greatest of all amateur fighters, an incredible unbeaten run in the IMAFs, multiple medals, goes into Brave, unbeaten there. Fortunately beat one of my guys as well, but it was a great fight. And then now signed with the UFC and making his debut in March. So a great example of how to do it. And sorry, to go back to your question, Kieran Clark, for me, is that as well. Super tough amateur career. Wins and his losses. Plenty of losses in there as well. That's what it's about. It's about getting tough fights, challenge yourself. Don't get too excited about winning a belt at amateur. Get in there, challenge, get your wins, get your losses, get your experience. He switched to pro. And as Artem Lobov say, your pro record is what goes on your headstone, so that's where it starts to mean something. And right away he's in tough competition. His last fight, great fight, very, very tough fight. He was the underdog going in. That guy, Jordan, I think.
Jordan
Martin. Great, he's been a lot of buzzwords around him, but the types of people he trains and how well he does with them in the gym, and I heard all sorts of horror stories about him. So we were training very hard for that one. Super tough fight. Very, very tough fight. I believe Kieran was losing on the judges' scorecards until the last minute. What does Kieran do? Gets the back, gets the finish. Crowd goes wild. So I'll put that fight and Kieran's year as being my top moment of the year. And I apologise to all my other kids. Still love yous.
Yeah, you've just put a big target on your back there. Yeah.
Just me and Kieran from now on.
John, I appreciate the time today. Look, we've got more drilling going on here in the background. Where can fans go to purchase or to bid for Conor's shoes, all in aid of Ian Coughlan?
Yeah, so that I believe that auction is live now. If it's not, if you go to the website, which I have no idea of it, but these guys are going to figure out and put it here. So it's somewhere here. And if you click on that, you can join. I guess it's an email list or something, and they will let you know when it does go live. We're actually in the process of trying to add more stuff to the auction site, including, see Johnny Walker drinking Fanta over there. Johnny, you have a fight coming up. Don't forget. Let's start making that water soon enough. Yeah.
Johnny Walker's after holding up a donut and a bottle of Fanta.
Yeah, fighter's diet. Yeah. But yeah, look, join the auction site. There's some stuff, lower price stuff, like a couple of signed T-shirts, right the way up to, of course, Conor's boots. And like I said, we're very optimistic on how much money that will raise. All of it goes to a great cause. And thank you for the support on this. Thank you guys for coming down and helping give it a bit of a backing and improving the numbers here. Like I said, all for the same reason. So thank you very much.
John Kavanagh, thank you very much. Merry Christmas.